St. Peter's Basilica is the world's largest church by many standards. The church remains free to visit for everyone, but everyone who wants to enter the church must go through security first, and this is what causes the huge lines that you see in front of the basilica. Until recently, the security lines were wrapped around St. Peter's Square, but now they've moved the security lines outside of the square. The entrance is in the same place, but the security lines are now on Via di Porta Angelica, which is a street you'll see if you're coming from the Vatican museums or the Ottaviano metro stop. In exciting news, you can now book your visit to St. Peter's Basilica. As you can see from the new official website of St. Peter's Basilica, you can now book in advance your visit to the Basilica alone, a visit to the Dome, which also includes a visit to the Basilica, or a visit to the Museum of the Treasury, which also includes a visit to the Basilica. The big deal about this booking system is that it gets you to a shorter security line. Many skip the line tickets are systems to allow you to skip the line to pay for tickets. It's never the case that you can just bypass security. Everybody has to go through security. And what you're booking when you use this site to visit the Basilica is an audio guide. So technically, the visit to the Basilica is still free. You are just paying €7 to get an audio guide, but having this booking does get you to a different security line, and usually that security line is considerably shorter than the big security line for those people who have not booked in advance. As I said, what you're booking is technically just an audio guide, but to use the audio guide, you need your own device, so a smartphone or tablet, and you need your own headphones. The next thing you need to know is that you have to be a little bit of a planner to use this system. I think you need to book at least 3 days in advance. You go into the booking system, you give it all the dates that you're going to be in Rome, and it'll show you all of the dates available for booking. From there, you can select the date and then the time. Another important thing to note, they do not have any bookings available for when the Basilica opens at 7 a.m. or even for 8 a.m. So presumably, if you want to visit the Basilica at those times, you just need to show up here and go through security normally. Once you've completed your booking, you're going to get 3 emails over 3 different days. The first email will be a confirmation of payment. The second email will be the confirmation of your booking. And the third email will arrive the day before your visit. It's going to be the QR code that you can use for downloading the audio guide. No matter which of these 3 tickets you book, you're going to be allowed to use what's called a reserved entrance for ticket holders. When you arrive outside of Bernini's Colonnade on the Via di Porta Angelica and you see these huge lines for going through security, you need to look for your line, which is going to be all the way to the right. If you can't find this line, make sure to ask only Vatican staff. Don't ask the police, don't ask people working in the souvenir stand. They don't know. You need to ask Vatican staff who are dressed with something that identifies them as working at the Vatican. Once you find your line, you're going to go through a little tent where another Vatican staff member will scan your booking. They will then send you to the security line, which, as I said, should be much shorter than the big security lines outside of the square. Remember, you do not need to book to visit St. Peter's Basilica. You can still visit the Basilica for free. You just show up and stand in the normal security lines, which can take anything from 20 minutes to 2 hours. As for the Dome and the Museum of the Treasury, both of these are paid visits, and if you don't book in advance, you can simply pay for them on site if you decide you want to visit them once you're inside the Basilica. Unlike the Vatican museums, which charges a €5 booking fee to book entry tickets to the museums, St. Peter's Basilica does not charge a fee for booking in advance. So for example, what you'll pay to climb the Dome is the same whether you pay on site or in advance.